Assalamualaikum and hello everyone, welcome to our group video. In this video, we are diving into the fascinating world of adverbial phrases and clauses. First, let's see my group members in the next slide. Hi, my name is SBLB2023. My matrix number is 292652. First of all, let me introduce you types of adverbial. There are several, but let me present the 5 types of adverbial. On the left side is the type of adverbial, while on the right side is the example given in phrase. The 5 adverbial is adverbial of time, adverbial of place, adverbial of manner, adverbial of cause or reason, and lastly adverbial of frequency. As example on the right, the word morning indicate the time, library indicate the place, hurry indicate the manner, phrase because of hunger itself shows it is the reason, and lastly, everyday indicate the adverbial of frequency. Should I give an example of situation in adverbial of manner? The sentence is, I have been working on my maths problem in a hurry. Adverbial phrase of manner describes how the action of working is being performed. Adverbial phrase of manner describes how the action. The phrase in hurry tells us about the manner in which the subject is working on the maths problems. It indicates that the action is being done quickly, likely without taking much time or care.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nafisa binti Abbas and my metric number is 2955 and 27. I will explain the definition of adverbial phrase, which is a group of words that functions as an adverb in a sentence. And then this adverbial phrase can add more detail and more information to a sentence, such as why, where, when, how, or what. And then this adverbial phrase is different to adverbial clause because adverbial phrase consists of words that can modify a verb, an adjective, and another verb.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Kimi bin Said Jalaluddin and my metric number is 294029. I'm going to continue the presentation with the function of adverbial phrases. So the first function is providing context. Adverbial phrases add essential context to action, making sentence more informative and complete. They help answer questions like how, when, where, why, and to what extent something happened. As you can see here, the example given is Hakimi finished his work with great precision. So the type of adverbial phrases here is manner, which is with great precision. This phrase provides additional context by explaining how the action of finishing the work is done. Next, the second function is clarifying action. Adverbial phrases clarify the circumstance of action such as timing, location, manner, and reason. They provide answer to questions like when, where, how, and why an action occurred. Like the example given in the video, Aifa and Nafisa left the library just before it closed. So the subject is Aifa and Nafisa. These are the people performing the action, and the verb is left. This is the action being performed by the subject, and the object is the library. This is the place for which the action is being performed. So the adverbial phrases is just before it closed. These phrases provide additional context by explaining the timing of the action. The last function is modifying another adverb. Adverbial phrases of degree modify the adverb to provide more detail about the extent or intensity of an action described by the adverb. They answer questions like how much or to what extent. Like the example given, Aziza studied incredibly hard for her final exam. So the subject here is Aziza. This is the person performing the action which is studied, and the adverb here is hard, and the adverbial phrases here is incredibly. These phrases modifies the adverb hard to indicate the extent of how hard she studied.
I am Nur Arifah binti Nizam and my metric number is 293362. So I'm going to explain about adverbial clauses. Adverbial clauses, or we call as or adverb clauses, is a clause that containing a subject and verb that acts as an adverb to modify the main clauses of sentence. Adverbial clauses are connected to the main clause of a sentence using a subordinating conjunction such as although, before, since, so that, and many. Adverbial clauses are always dependent, which is they have a subject and verb, but they cannot form to stand-alone sentences, and they give more information about a verb in the independent clauses. Based on my explanation and Nafisa's explanation, see the difference between an adverbial phrases and adverbial clauses, where it's almost similar, but it's not the same as it, because both are group words that play the adverb role, but within the one key difference, which is an adverbial clauses contain a subject and verb, while adverbial phrase does not. So that is the difference between adverbial clauses and also the adverbial.
Explain the function of adverbial clauses, but before that, we need to understand the placement rule of adverbial clauses. So adverbial clauses can be placed before, middle, or after the main clause. When an adverbial clause is placed before it, a comma is usually used to separate it from the main clause. When it is placed after it, there is no need for a comma between the adverbial clause and the main clause. So here are the examples that we provide to show that the adverbial clauses can be placed in the beginning of the sentence, middle of the sentence, or at the end of the sentence. To have a better understanding on the function of adverbial, the example sentence and video are provided. So the clause that I bold is adverbial clause, and the clause that I underline is the main clause. In the adverbial clause, there is a subject and a verb, which I mentioned before. The subject in the adverbial clause of this sentence is she, and the verb is practice. So the type of adverbial clause is reason. The word because is used to express a direct cause or reason, and the tone of expressing the reason is the strongest. To answer special questions caused by why, you can only use because. To support my explanation, the video is provided. In the video, you can saw that Aziza is practicing her presentation beforehand and then shows her confidence when she is presenting. So this function of the adverbial clause is to explain why Aziza feel confident because she practiced in advance. It functions by explaining the reason Aziza when she deliver her presentation confidently. So here is the next sentence and video. I also bold the adverbial clause and underline the main clause. The subject in the adverbial clause in this sentence is teacher, and verb is explain. The type of this adverbial clause is time. It explains when something happens. The word while often expresses a long period of time or process, emphasizing that the action or step expressed by the verb of the main clause and the verb of the adverbial clause occurs at the same time. It cannot express a temporary or short-lived action. So in the video, both parties' actions occur at the same time. The teacher is teaching while the students are taking note. They are occur in the same scene and the same time. The function of this adverbial clause is to explain what students are doing while the teacher is teaching. So the two sentences that I provided, their adverbial clause is placed before the main clause. It functions to explain the main clause and to support them. So that's all from group 3.